Every wicket you break, every breakaway you make. All right, guys. We go into live mode. Good morning, Lagos. Thank you very much indeed for staying tuned here on Smooth 98.1. It's time for us to go into the locker room to talk sports. And joining us for the conversation this morning, Ayo Mairo Ese, by the way. Joining us for the conversation is
And Kayode Baker.
and Mr.
Good morning,
C.
Gaia. Good morning, Caddy. Good morning, Lagos.
So for the first time in the locker room, Mr. C is joining us today. And Kayode today is wearing two hats. One as a host and two as an analyst. Tega is still away. Don't forget to mention that she's not feeling very well. So please, like we always say, show her some love. Go on to social media. Her handle is at Tega Supreme. And of course, for ladies in sport, it's at LIS International. Let her know that you miss her and that you hope she gets well soon. Now, this is the way you can get involved in the conversation this morning. You can send a WhatsApp message to 0809 444 0981. So all our locker room fam, please make sure you go on there and show us some love. On YouTube, we're streaming live. Search for Smooth 98.1 and on Twitter.
Yes, you can reach out to us using the hashtag LockerRoom981. There's 2 hours in Locker Room, so please get those messages there, okay? That said, Lagos, let's get into the first story, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Okay, so we're going to start on the sad note this morning. And this one here is from the NFF. They say losing 3 players in 1 week is tragic. So the NFF, that's the Nigerian Football Federation, has described the death of former Nigeria under 20 and under 23 captain Isaac Promise as tragic. NFF's General Secretary, Dr. Mohammed Sanusi, said the Federation was greatly saddened by Promise's death. And the ex-midfielder's death came less than 48 hours after two women footballers of the Nigerian Professional Football League side, that's Police Machine FC of Uyo, were crushed to death by a hit-and-run driver after a training session in Akwa Ibom, well, the state capital, basically.
Okay, so my thoughts, first of all, our thoughts go out to the families of the 3 deceased individuals. And we pray that their souls rest in perfect peace and God give them the grace to bear this tragic loss. Now, with regards to the 2 female footballers who died, the story doesn't even indicate their identities, and it's just explains the stock or the value attached to the women's professional league. They were they were hit by a hit and run driver, and apparently they died. We don't know whether they died on the spot or they died later on. And then our former team captain for the under 20 and under 23 team, Mr. Isaac Promise, died at the age of 31. It has been a very tragic week for Nigerian football, and we pray that such events don't happen again with this frequency anytime soon. And it is my sincere hope that the Nigerian Football Federation does honor Isaac Promise by retiring his number. Whatever number he wore for those teams
Yes.
or for the national team, we should retire that number and ensure it's not worn again. That's one of the ways we can honor him. And for the federal government also to look into this and honor him, because one of the ways of expressing our loyalty and allegiance to Nigeria is by encouraging and acknowledging the efforts of people who represent the national team. And for the female footballers, I do hope that they're remembered by the Nigerian Professional League, especially the women's section.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. C. Let's move on to our next story. Nigeria bigger than Abraham, Tomori says Kanu. So on Wednesday, we talked about the fact that Gernot Rohr, who is the Nigerian coach, had said he had no plans to include these 2 international players in his national team. And some people had said they don't even want you. You cannot reject people that don't want you. Well, Marco Kanu is unmoved following England handing Tammy Abraham and Fikayo Tomori international call-ups. Abraham, who is 22 years old, who has been in rich scoring form for Frank Lampard's side, had been capped by the Europeans in friendlies against Germany and Brazil, while Tomori, who is also eligible to feature for Canada, has played 15 times for English under 21s. Now, this is what Kanu said. Our problem is that whenever someone starts doing well, we start chasing them, which is not bad because other countries do that. I feel we don't need to force people to play for the country because Nigeria is bigger than any player. We have quality players everywhere, so we can't continue to beg one player to play for us. Nigeria cannot beg. Players have to beg Nigeria.
Well, I mean, you have to understand what Kanu's saying, and you also have to understand why everybody wants, Tomori and also, Abraham to come and play for Nigeria. Abraham, for example, has been in rich scoring vein for Chelsea. I think he scored 12 goals in all competitions already. And when he was playing for Swansea, he was amazing. When he played for Aston Villa last season, he was also fantastic. Let's not forget that we've retired, Victor Moses retired. Also, Ode Gallo has retired as well. Mikel Obi has retired. So we're looking for fresh legs, players that are just as good. So this is one of the reasons why these players are sought after. But then again, I agree with Kanu. There are players in the Nigerian Professional League that are just as good, maybe not great, but they can be developed. Also, there are players that play all across Europe, and we just need to find them. And hopefully the ones that we currently have will grow. We have the likes of Victor Osimhen. We have the likes of, there are some players that are thriving in the Nigerian space right now. It just goes to show that our football in recent years has not been what it used to be. The time when we had the JJs,
True.
The big stars back in the day.
Okay, but I slightly deviate from Kayode, and this
Okay.
is where I deviate from. Kanu is right to a certain extent. In an ideal situation, the country shouldn't beg. Now, he says Nigeria has quality players. Is this the current situation or what obtained in the past? Right now, apart from Victor Osimhen, what other Nigerian forward plays regularly in a proper competitive league? I don't know any. Now, my people say that if you have two legs, why stand on one? What do we lose by calling up or persuading or convincing Tammy Abraham and the other guy,
Tomori.
to play for us? If we imagine a Nigerian team,
Can we afford them?
Of course you can.
we can.
It's even best if they played for us, because here's the problem, right? Kebalagbona was invited to play for Nigeria. He didn't, right? He played for England once and then he stopped. This guy from Ivory Coast, Zaha, played for England once. With all the talent and quality he had.
Okay, so another question in addition to affording them is how. So
No, it's
for
not really a
instance-
question of affording, because for the national team, you don't pay to use them.
All right. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Sorry.
you don't. No, you don't pay to use them. It's
But-
for club soccer. You pay.
Well, thank you very much. I sound very football ignorant, but that's news to me. Thank you so much. I've learned that. No, it's good. I want to learn new things. But I'm just surprised. Why would you want to play if you're not being paid? But
Actually, they do get paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
And also they get cash donations. Like we've heard that they've been given $10,000 if you score how many goals, and then they get bonuses for every game that they play. But
also, it's
also
meant to
can
be
apply-
patriotic. It's meant to be patriotic. So
Exactly.
you just, oh, nice one.
Exactly.
That's a great idea. Now, if you're like me and you didn't know that, please send me a message so I don't feel lonely in my ignorance. But talking about that, how about with regards to the amount of play they get to have? So, for instance, Nigeria and the English football team as a whole would only get as far when it comes to international competitions and their ranking as well. So, at the last World Cup, I don't know at what point England left the. At what point?
They were fourth?
Yeah, they were four.
So for these men,
Okay.
would you not think it's more attractive? It's more attractive for them to possibly play. I'm just making. I want them to play for
possibly
their
play
country.
for who?
For England,
No.
for instance.
Okay, let's take Tammy Abraham.
Yeah.
He does not have a chance in this lifetime to start for the English national team.
They've called
Harry-
him up though.
Yeah, but Harry Kane is there.
Yes.
There's Marcus Rashford.
Okay.
There's Raheem Sterling. He's not going to start. But with the Super Eagles, he's guaranteed to start.
And that is so true.
Yeah.
And he would also thrive with the Super Eagles. Because I mean, what literally one of the best teams in Africa.
Yeah.
So if we get our cards together, he'll get a fighting chance, and he will play for years to come. And I like the thing that Alex Iwobi did. He did the smart thing for not playing for England, playing for Nigeria, and he would probably be one of the the better players will have in the coming years, you know, to take football forward.
Absolutely. Thank you for enlightening me, because I used to wonder why international players would choose to play for their home countries. Please don't shoot me. But Chidozie says on WhatsApp, Tammy Abraham has made the right decision. Nigeria do not deserve him. Let's take care of the ones we have here already. And then Tony from Coca says, see, as we are busy chasing shadows like we were there in the progress. Congrats to Tammy and Tomori. All right, thanks.
Let's talk about Manchester United. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer allays mounting injury fears. Now Solskjaer is hopeful the hamstring injury Jesse Lingard sustained in Manchester United's goalless draw with AZ Almacar is not as serious as feared. Now Lingard, omitted for Gareth Southgate's latest England squad, hobbled off the plastic pitch at the Cars Jenners Arena in stoppage time, leaving United to finish an uninspiring stalemate at the in the game with just 10 men basically.
Solskjaer.
Hashtag Ole out was trending yesterday, by the way.
Now it's more of a question of when, not if. Now, Solskjaer is allaying mounting injury first, but that's the least of his concerns, in my opinion. United has not won an away game since March in any competition. We scored only 7 goals in our last 9 games, and those point to very serious issues. We're not creating enough chances, and even the chances we're creating are not being converted. Now, it's easy for people to suggest that it's because of the injury crisis, but please come on. You have a squad of 22, 23 players. United doesn't even have a settled lineup. We don't have a settled pattern of play. Each game, we just stumble onto the pitch like 11 strangers and hope for the best.
All right, it won't work. Well, Manchester United fans can feel a little bit of what Arsenal fans were feeling under Arsene Wenger. Kayode and Emmanuel.
The problem here is that I think they didn't make smart choices this season, and the reason is because now they have Lingard injured. Marcel is also injured, and he's not fit. What's his name again? Rashford as well has the same problems. Now, the best strikers, such as Lukaku and also Alexis Sanchez, were loaned to Inter Milan, who are doing fantastic right now in the Serie A. So the problem here is this. Let's just call a spade, right? Solskjaer is not the man for the job.
All right. Well, Lukman seems to agree with you. Lukman from Gagada is never even trying to he's not trying to mince words. He says Ole decimated the team with his mumunes. Good luck to him. Okay, let's digest that. We're going to break. When we come back, we'll continue sporting stories here in the locker room. Honestly, who would have thought that Manchester United would be Arsenal?
No, we'll never get. I'm a United fan. Proudly since '92. No, proudly since '92. No, we're not there. You see, Arsenal will never descend to the Arsenal level.
Right now.
You people are already there. Let's not lie. It's as bad already.
Let's hope not.
I like Kayode has been true. Kayode has been
because
honest.
I'm even looking at it that if you want to get a coach now, who can they possibly get? Right? And if they're gonna get a coach, that guy has to. If they called me to be the coach of United, I'll first overhaul all those guys. They can't play. They won't play for me.
I'll get this guy. What's his name? Luis Enrique.
Okay, Enrique. Well, I mean,
who is Enrique with at the moment?
He's with no one.
He's with no one. He's free.
I guess Simeone.
He led Barcelona to the treble.
But you see, Barcelona is a peculiar team.
Valverde hasn't done it.
Well, now people are catching on, and Messi is not what he used to be. What? Oh, okay. No, it's okay to say it out loud.
Oh, he's with the Spanish national team.
Enrique.
Okay, that's true. That's true. No, he took a leave of absence because his daughter was sick and died. Yeah. Okay, Pochettino might soon leave Spurs because the confusion in Spurs right now is off the
maybe
charts.
they might have discussions with him.
Yeah, so
as in your transformation is just divine. I know how you started. You were actually on your way out.
Then he just took over
Then he
the
just
show.
resurrected.
Like, I can do this.
We're proud of you.
I saw him running up the stairs. I was like,
I'm proud of you. So you have this inside of you.
Spirit. You now know the breakfast spirit.
I did not know you had.
Unfortunately, he's living next to
Arsenal's
Why
problem
is it like? Oh, why is it always
I
like
don't know.
that?
This is like the point
Arsenal's
where we're
defense.
like,
Yeah, that's
this
their
is,
problem.
It's a running comedy show.
No, you people are becoming a running comment. I have to defend.
I don't even like
You
these things
people
affect
like-
me anymore. I was telling Aya the other day, I said, if I watch a United match and they lose, it spoils my day. As in, so I stopped it.
That's how Arsenal fans feel.
No,
That's
no,
what you guys
no.
are feeling like that now. Arsenal fans is so bad, they're used to loss. Like, you know, like how Manchester United people will not eat if you lose, they're sad. Arsenal just like, okay, another one. Give me my bar. You know, it's not a big deal anymore. And I'm grateful for that because at least my husband doesn't get affected when they lose. You know,
I'm jealous.
oh my goodness, but their hope and faith divine. Let's go back. We'll come back and then.
So we're talking about Arsenal, and then okay, yeah.
Yes, indeed. It just feels so good. This is Smooth 98.1, and we are in the locker room. This is where we talk all things sports. I'm Ayo Mairo Ese,
And I'm Kayode Baker.
and with us is Mr. C.
Good morning, Lagos.
All right, so before the break, we talked about Manchester United. We also looked at the unfortunate news coming into us about the three Nigerian players who lost their lives in the past 1 week. We also looked at other footballing news, and now it's time for us to talk about some Arsenal playing. So, all Gunners stand up. Oh,
That's you.
they're listening. Please, people should stand up in the WhatsApp comment and YouTube chat as well. We celebrate every kind of success here. But before we start celebrating, let's take some comments. So Kayode in Lekki says, Brazil will always produce a Pele, Zico, Ronaldo, and Neymar. Argentina will always produce a Maradona, Batistuta, Messi, Aguero. Ghana will produce world-class midfielders, and so on and so forth. What has been absent in recent times has been the scouting network to unearth Nigerian strikers and a professional league to showcase them, period. This is Kayode. Kayode thanks. Agumbiade real one from Akoka says, if you cry over Lingard injury, that shows how terrible our club is now. Selling Lukaku is not the problem. Not replacing him with a better striker was a terrible decision. This abysmal form will continue. We will rise again.
Up Manchester
Up
United.
and you.
Red
Kenny
Devils.
Hetchige says, good morning. We need to stop disturbing the airwaves with Tammy Abraham that we're yet to call up. We're waiting for him to announce to us that he's ready to play for Nigeria, while a more serious nation is calling him up. Call him and let him refuse. And then Tyre says, sad day for Nigerian football, but retiring jersey number is not allowed according to FIFA rules. Nigeria Federation need to do their homework and show working rather than let someone else show us the
That's
answer.
not correct because Samuel Karaji's number was actually retired, number
All right.
6.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let's go on to Manchester United and to Arsenal. It's because they are not the same. Manchester United and Arsenal.
For
All right,
now.
so Gabriel Martinelli scores twice in victory. So Martinelli scored 2 goals and set up another as a youthful Arsenal side turned on the style to thrash Standard Liège 4-0 in the Europa League Group F meeting at the Emirates Stadium. Teenager Martinelli, a £6 million signing from Brazilian side Ituano during the summer, opened the scoring with a superb header after 13 minutes and netted his second with a low curling finish just 3 minutes later, making it 4 goals from 2 games following his double against Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup.
So this is good news for the Gunners because the manager went in with a youthful team, some new signings, and they repaid his faith by bringing the goods. And it was a good game for Arsenal. They created a lot of chances. They converted the chances they got, and they kept a clean sheet, which is very important. So yeah, they can build on this, and I'm happy that they won the game.
All right.
And
Great.
Arsenal currently, by the way, are 4th on the table. You know, it's always been a long battle. That's in the Premier League.
Yeah.
This weekend, I think they travel to.
Yeah, they're at home. They're
They're
playing
at home,
Bournemouth.
actually. They're playing Bournemouth at home. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's always good to play off the back of a win.
Yes.
And the battle has always been for the top 4. So, you know, so far so good. They're still in the race. They're
Early
in
days.
a good running. We'll see where that leads for them.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Brendan Rodgers. Okay, now Brendan Rodgers is headed to Liverpool. That's the Anfield rather. And well, the Leicester City boss, that's Brendan Rodgers, said he was eagerly looking forward to Saturday's Premier League trip to Liverpool for what will be his first visit as an opposing manager since he was sacked by the Anfield club in 2015. Now, Rodgers nearly led Liverpool to the, first Premier League title in 2014 before being pipped by Manchester City in the final weeks of the campaign. And I saw that game. I felt so bad, particularly for
Jared, Steven Jared, when he
yes.
slept. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so this is going to be the match of the week. Brendan Rodgers returns to Anfield. He leads a Leicester team which has been very exciting and pleasing on the eye to watch. And it's going to be a battle of the forts because we have Jamie Vardy, who the Liverpool defense has to cope with, and the Liverpool defense in the past few games haven't looked that convincing. Then also we're going to see how the Leicester defense deals with the impressive trio:
Okay.
Salah, Firmino, and Salah.
Alrighty then. Remy Richard says, please.
And Sadio Mane, you mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sadio Mane, Firmino, and Salah. And then we should also look out for James Maddison. He's the exciting young man running Leicester's midfield, and he's been called up to the English national team. So I'd like to see how Demarai Gray, Wilfred Ndidi, and Maddison shape up against the Liverpool midfield. And I recommend this game to everyone. Watch it, you will not be disappointed.
You will not be disappointed. Well, Yemi Richard has come out to correct something. He says, please, Arsenal and Man U are not in the same league.
Thank
we
you.
are fourth on the table.
Oh,
Please,
sorry?
and not struggling. All right, let's go on to Inter.
Oh,
So
my
angry
goodness.
Inter tackled Juventus for Serie A supremacy. Antonio Conte warned Inter Milan were angry at their defeat to Barcelona and ready to fight for maintain their Serie A supremacy against his former club Juventus in this weekend's top of the table clash at the San Siro. Inter riding high with a perfect run of 6 wins, play at home to the defending champions, who are 2 points behind on Sunday.
Okay, so this also could be tagged the biggest game for the weekend because it's Inter Milan versus Juventus, right?
Yeah.
Now, Antonio Conte was manager for Juventus for a very long time, and he was
Yes.
very successful while he was at Juventus. Now, for 4 seasons, right? And Inter Milan, on the other hand, they've been struggling, but since they got Conte, he's brought that setup that he used at Chelsea to try and shape up the team. That's one. Also, because he's a serial winner, everybody knows that the Serie A is not going to be a one-way horse that it used to be that it has used to be in the past years. Plus, I personally don't have faith in Sarri. Right, Sarri. I mean, the only thing he's ever won is with Chelsea, and that was the FA Cup. So looking at this, what cup was that? The Carling Cup, the Super Cup. Okay,
Super good.
the Super Cup. Imagine that, and it was even the Super Cup. So you see, the problem here is this: Sarri his tactics are wrong. And Ronaldo, as good as he still is, I don't think this season he has fully found his form. Plus, I mean, he's truly aging, yes, and the Juventus side as well. They're great, but they're not as great as they used to be. So it shapes up to be a very interesting match. And my money right now is on. If I were to predict, my predictions will be for Inter Milan to win this game ahead of Juventus.
Juventus. Okay, so my take on this is Inter is riding very well. They have an unbeaten start to the season, but midweek showed what experience and moments of magic can do. 2 moments of magic from Messi and Suarez combined led to an Inter defeat.
True.
And the Juventus team is full of proven match winners,
Okay.
title winners. And I believe that despite Sarri's limitations, there are enough proven match winners on the field for Juventus. And frankly speaking, I don't see Inter winning this game. I think
Okay.
Juventus will dig deep in because
Okay.
they've been champions of Italy for 8 seasons now. And I see Juventus pulling out to win.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on to our next story here. And Aubameyang rejects claim he only joined Arsenal for money. So Arsenal's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has taken to Twitter to hit back at claims that the Gabon striker only left Borussia Dortmund for money. The claim was made by Dortmund chief executive Hans-Joachim Watzke in an interview for a German newspaper. Now, the 30-year-old moved to Arsenal from the German club for a fee of £56 million in January of 2018.
I mean, whether he left for money or not, it's not really that big a deal if you ask me. But here's the thing: I remember while he left Dortmund that time. They weren't doing very well in the league.
Mm.
And they were struggling. I think they were struggling to even be third at that point in time. And then he joined Arsenal. And I remember that for the longest time, Aubameyang had always wanted to join the Premier League, because that's where all the glitz happens. And he's been a valuable addition to the Arsenal
Yes.
side ever since he's joined. His partnerships with Lacazette and the other
Lacazette,
players
yeah.
basically have been great. They've been formidable. Also, his concern is that the CEO, the club CEO, said that he wasn't going to sell him. He wasn't going to sell somebody like Ousmane Dembele at some point in time, but he got 100 million from I think Barcelona, and then he sold him. So football is all about give and take. It's all about money, and if someone brings in a lot of money, basically to purchase a player, definitely they're going to let him go.
Yeah.
And I think their grievance against that's the club's grievance against Aubameyang while he was at Dortmund was that he left them
Yeah.
when they were struggling to
Oh.
join Arsenal, and that's the problem.
Okay, so just to add this, when professional players today they play soccer primarily to earn money. Now, when a professional player leaves a football team, he's leaving for one of three reasons.
Yes.
He's either leaving for money reasons, he's leaving for sporting reasons,
Yeah.
as in he actually wants to win titles, or he just wants to play. Now, Aubameyang leaves Dortmund and joins Arsenal. Now, Kayode has suggested that Dortmund was struggling at the time. Oh, well, that's fine. He left for another struggling team. Arsenal is not going to win the league anytime soon.
Well, but he'll get the glitz that he wanted. And I dare say this though. I remember when Aubameyang was nominated alongside, was it Drogba? I think one of the reasons, and this is my theory, I think one of the reasons why he didn't win was because he was playing in the German league. At that time, people that played look at all the guys that played in the English Premier League. They had better chances. They have better chances to win the AFCON Player of the Year as opposed to guys playing in the other leagues. So you have to give credit to the guy. If he scores 30 goals in a season and he's nominated for Africa's Best Player, he will win because he plays in England.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, let's take some comments as we wrap up the show this morning. Tony from Coca says, kudos to Arsenal, but it's never how far, but how well. Because even a blind man can tell of Arsenal's start, but never their end. And then, so they're saying, people have been saying that Sarri won the UEFA Cup. The
Europa Cup. Excuse me. Thank you very much for that correction.
Then Adik Parusi from Songot has said to just think that Martinelli had a trial with Manchester United is very frustrating for United fans. Come up, you Gunners. Biggie from Katie says Tammy Abraham will just be slotting for just once. His decision will haunt him one way or the other. But I'm glad we did not pressure him. What Man you need right now is prayer and fasting from their fans. And they can also consult the gods. Now they know they sacked a great coach named Mourinho.
Yep.
I'm a Gunner and I'm proud of my boys. See, Gunner is now coming out. They're coming out to speak. All right, Lagos, thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. And a big thanks to our fantastic analysts. Thank you, Mr. C. At Mr. CEEE on Twitter, and of course, thank you, Kayode. Well, Kayode and I are here.
Yes, we're here all the way till 10.
Till 10. It's a Feel Good Friday, guys. So we have something interesting for us to talk about in the next few minutes. Stay tuned. 9 o'clock, Kayode and I will be here just to let our hair down a little and get you talking. Lagos Talks 90 on in a few minutes.
All right, Mr. C, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, that was very good.
So when are you going to the show if you're here to